Welcome everybody. Welcome to Global Education's virtual Expo. We've got an exciting and one of our favorite universities here that we get to introduce to you. We've got the lovely Jenny Hyde here, who has been doing a great job in offering unique and interesting webinars. So we've got some great information for you. So just hang tight, grab a cup of tea or a cup of coffee if you're in a different time zone like me, and we'll get started shortly. Jenny, we've got quite a few people already on. We've got about 11 people that have just signed on. So I'm happy to get going, and
okay.
I'm going to hand it straight over to you. Just want to let everybody know if they've got any questions, please put them in the chat box, and then we'll discuss them at the end, or if it's anything's pertinent to the conversation as well. So good luck, and over to you, Jenny.
Thanks, George. Hello, my name's Jenny Hyde. I'm from the University of Portsmouth in the UK. And I'm going to talk to you today about how to make the most of your UK degree. You know, a degree is more than just your grades, your results, your 2-1, your first class. Today, we're going to be looking at how to add value to your degree, because, you know, when you graduate, the chances are more than 1 or 2 students are going to be up there with a first or a second. So how do you set yourself apart? Okay, so I'm from the University of Portsmouth. We are a mid-ranked university located on the south coast of England, about 70 miles southwest of London. You can see how close to the sea we are. This tower that you can also see behind me is our iconic Portsmouth landmark, the Spinnaker Tower. And just behind that, you have the historic dockyard. And beyond that, this big ship at the top, that is one of the Royal Navy warships, because the Royal Navy lives in Portsmouth. We're a very competitive sporting university in a small city of about 250,000 people. We have about 25,000 students at Portsmouth. And before I go on to the next slide, just at the bottom of the Spinnaker Tower, you can see the Gunwharf Quays shopping centre. That really reminds me actually of the V&A waterfront in Cape Town. It's very similar, a lovely place to go and eat, relax, go shopping. And a lot of our students will go and get jobs there, which I'm going to talk about a bit later. So we're very proud to be at the University of Portsmouth. We're the only university in the city. One of the things we're very proud of is the fact that our graduate employment rates are amongst the highest in the UK, with 97.5% of our students in work or in further postgraduate study within 6 months of finishing their course. We're the #1 in the UK for boosting graduate salaries, and the average Portsmouth graduate will earn 13% above expectations within 5 years of finishing their course. We are very proud of our Gold Award in the Teaching Excellence Framework, and we have a 5-star rating for teaching, employability, internationalization, facilities, arts and culture, and inclusivity. The university is a multi-faculty university. We have 5 faculties. The Faculty of Business and Law, which is kind of like it says on the tin, it teaches the business, management, entrepreneurship, accounting and finance, law, human resources, economics. We have the Faculty of Creative and Cultural Industries, which is where you'll find courses such as film, media and communications, creative technologies. We have a very strong architecture department and also an award-winning journalism degree course. The Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences is where you'll find the sociology, the politics, international relations, criminology. Actually, we've got a fantastic criminology webinar coming up very soon, which I'm sure George will tell you about. We have the Faculty of Science, where we do very well at Portsmouth in environmental courses, in sports science as well. We also offer social work and healthcare science courses. Finally, the Faculty of Technology, which is where you find our engineering, our technology courses, and we do all sorts, from civil engineering, software engineering, we do computing, computer science, a wide range of engineering topics. There are more than 430 different degree programs at the University of Portsmouth. We also have pathways through our partner, which is ICP, the International College of Portsmouth, a Navitas college. Now, many of our courses have professional accreditations, meaning that when you graduate, you will either be qualified already to apply for chartered status, or there will be simply 1 or 2 extra modules to do to get the professional accreditation. For example, ACCA, the accountancy qualification. The key thing when you start at university, there's more to a university experience than the grades. Like I said at the start, it's more than just the content. The comprehensive university experience is about making the intangible count, building your profile, getting engaged, building your skills and confidence. And there's all sorts of ways you can do that. And I'm going to cover these in this session. So part-time work, the Students' Union, what is it and how can it support you? Volunteering, internships, and so forth. So what is it that employers look for? It's not just what you know, but it's what you can do. It's your skills and it's your motivations. Now, our Careers and Employability Service recommend that you start looking for a graduate role from September to December 2021 if you're looking to start your job the following summer. There's lots of opportunities with the Careers and Employability Service. They would help you with looking for part-time jobs, graduate jobs for when you've graduated, volunteering opportunities. They run sector-specific events. So for example, if you're studying architecture, they will be holding specific architecture, employment webinars and in-person events when that's possible. They organise face-to-face and online appointments with the students to help them prepare for job interviews and their graduate roles. And it's all the more important now that the UK can offer students the graduate visa route, enabling you to stay in the UK and work for 2 years after you graduate. Now, I hope I'm not going to scare you with this next slide, but this is a typical job description, a graduate job description. I mean, if I was to look at that, I really don't know where I would start. How do you show that you're a confident communicator? How do you show you have the, how do you prove that you have the problem solving skills? How can you evidence that when you come to apply for a job? So what you need to be doing is more. Right from the start, from the minute you arrive at university, you need to be looking out for the opportunities to broaden your experience, either through volunteering, internships, joining student union clubs and societies. So get out there and get involved. The careers advice at university, and I think this would go for a lot of universities, they will assist you with part-time jobs, graduate jobs, with the volunteering, giving you information, advice and guidance on when you come to graduate. And they have a recruitment consultancy at Portsmouth where we will help put you in touch with opportunities. It's really important you make the most of the careers advice available at university. Attend the careers fairs from the first year onwards and make an appointment. Get to know the careers advisors. If they know you, they're going to be better placed to help you get the job or the internship that you're looking for. It's a free service. There's no, there's no cost involved. It's available for all Portsmouth students at all levels. You don't have to be a final year student to access the careers service. And it's all very accessible via, whether face-to-face, on campus, via telephone. It's really important you go in and you work with them. And whilst part-time work is probably most interesting when you first arrive, the Careers Office will support our students and graduates throughout their time and for up to 5 years after you graduate. And trust me, I know that sounds like a long time, but when you do graduate, you really do need to keep going back and using them because that service is invaluable. the support that they can give is tailored to the individual, and it can be delivered in different ways, whether face-to-face or so on, even by Skype if students are doing a blended or remote learning remotely this year, or if they're away from the university at home or on an internship. Now, in the UK, on your student visa, you're permitted to work during term time on a part-time basis, and university careers officers will support you in finding these roles. I mentioned on the map slide about Gunwharf Quays. That's this huge shopping centre. It's wonderful, loads of jobs. There's Commercial Road in Portsmouth, Guildhall Walk, where you've got lots more entertainment, restaurants, retail positions going, and students will normally work 10 to 12 hours a week during their studies. It tends to be flexible because you don't know whether one week you might have assignments, exams, deadlines. So the sort of jobs that students are getting are very flexible as and when they can work. In the UK, the minimum hourly rate for an 18-year-old would be £6.15 an hour. And the sort of part-time jobs that we have, we are able to assist you in going for would be with the NHS, with Marriott Hotels, KFC, lots of different opportunities. Most of these are practical rather than career related, but they build really useful skills. We have a dedicated member of staff who looks after the part-time job vacancies, and there were over 1,500 vacancies last year. So there's lots of opportunity, whether it's retail, it could be in the hospitality sector, or it could be a university job. So in the university, I mean, we have 25,000 students, about 3,500 staff members. So there's loads of chances for you to get employment through the university, whether as a marketing assistant, a very coveted international student ambassador role. There are faculty student guides, residence life assistants who are living in the university halls of residence as wardens or welcome ambassadors. People think, well, you know, these are just kind of low paid menial jobs. That's not what I want to do if I'm studying international relations or if I'm studying dental nursing. But the skills that you build from these part-time jobs, this gives you something really invaluable. So it gives you insight into how UK businesses run. It gives you communication and customer service, those soft skills. This is how we evidence what the intangible. It gives you teamwork experience, how to problem solve, working to targets, working to deadlines. If you're not an English speaker as your first language, it helps develop your language skills. There are so many of these soft transferable skills that employers are looking for. It's not just about, you know, stacking shelves or doing the menial tasks. You have to make sure the jobs that you do, you use them. You use them to benefit you and your CV. What about internships and work placements? Well, most of the bachelor degrees, I would say, I think 95% of them involve some sort of work placement or internship. And we advertise the opportunities that are aimed at undergraduate students through the Careers and Employability team. Now, some graduate internships are designed for after the courses at undergraduate and postgraduate level. For example, Bsc Social Work, which is where you would do 70 days of work placement in the first year of the master's degree and 100 days in the second year, all within one course. You can explore opportunities within your own faculty placement office. Each of our faculties has a MyPort hub, and they have a placement office who are connected with industry, and they have the really good links along with the careers office to help you with securing an internship. And there's been a real increase due to the pandemic in virtual internships, which is, you know, it's an opportunity not to be missed. But find your own opportunities. If you have your own contacts or your own ideas. If you're doing a business course, it's potentially you can set up a small business as your internship. It's up to you, however, to build the networks, to attend university events, to engage with contacts, alumni, professional bodies. It's all here for you. Another way of adding value to your degree would be spending time experiencing study abroad. And we have a number of opportunities, whether 1 semester or 1 year abroad. It gives you the chance to broaden your knowledge and skills, developing a network of international contacts. And we have lots of partners, whether in Australia, North America, we have some in Hong Kong and Europe. So lots of opportunity for you to spend some time elsewhere. When you study with us on campus, you can also learn a language for free alongside your course with our institution-wide language program. And this gives you the opportunity to choose from 8 different languages. We have Arabic, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Mandarin, Spanish, and British Sign Language. All fantastic extra skills for you to develop and add to your CV. On the courses, you should try and gain relevant work experience whilst you're on your course, whether it's either part-time paid work during your vacations or your internship, because this will help you gain confidence in your future career field and will help with your applications after you've graduated. So for example, on the business courses, the students can act as consultants on client projects. For the law courses, our students are very much involved in community legal practice and, for example, the Citizens Advice Bureau. For the engineering courses, we get very involved in the Formula Studio Student Initiative, which is where you design, build and cost a racing car. We do this every year with the mechanical engineering students. And the architecture courses, well, in our School of Architecture, we have our own consultancy. So the students are very much involved in the hands-on architecture project offices, the client consultancy and design briefs, even though these are live briefs that they're involved in, even though they're still students. Another area that the university is slightly unique, we are the corporate sponsor of Portsmouth Football Club. Okay, we're no Manchester United, but we're very proud of the Portsmouth FC. We won the FA Cup a few years ago and we're up there. So one of the great things about this is that we work so closely because they give projects to our students. They can get involved with internships and placements at the football club. And it's not just the sports science students, it's the business students are getting involved, as well as other students. They engage with local schools and colleges through the football club, and there's lots of opportunity for students to work with them, not just go and get discounted tickets. In the UK, we have a students' union. Every university has a students' union. And basically what they do, it's their job to represent the students to the university. It's run by student officers who are students at that university. And you'll find the Students' Union will have all sorts of different clubs and societies. So at Portsmouth, we have over 150. You find the bigger the university, the more clubs and societies they have because more students. So these vary. These can be sporting, they can be creative, political, cultural. For example, we have the Law Society, which if you're studying law or have an interest in your legal rights or want to meet a diverse group of students, you can get involved with that. You don't have to be studying law. They run a lot of trips to legal venues, activities like mooting competitions to improve your legal skills, which are great, in all aspects. If you're studying journalism or technology, it's great to have those skills, and that's what employers are looking for. You could get involved in university media. So at Portsmouth, we have Victory Media, and that encompasses Victory Studios, the Pugwash magazine and newspaper. And it's the official University of Portsmouth student media magazine newspaper. We have free membership, and there are positions available for writers, photographers, designers. You don't need any experience, But if it's something that you want to get involved in, maybe you want to hone your writing skills, maybe you want to get published for your CV, there you go. You can become a course representative. Now, at the University of Portsmouth, every single course has a course rep, which is somebody appointed to represent the academic interests of fellow students on that course and within that year group. So they are the official first point of contact between students, staff, and the Students' Union. Really important position, and also something for your CV. Volunteering in Portsmouth. I mean, we have a society called Volunteering in Portsmouth, and they work in all areas around the community. They aim to get as many students involved as possible. And there's opportunities to volunteer weekly, working with the elderly, with children, with charities, environmental projects. So all of these build career-related experience. And there's all sorts of opportunities out there that you can take advantage and you're urged to take advantage of. So these are just some of the other clubs and societies we have. Lots of sports, religious societies, cultural societies, mad societies. I mean, we've got a Harry Potter society, for goodness sake. We also have the music and drama opportunities if you want to get involved, even if it's something you do as a hobby. Why not? You could learn an instrument. We have summer schools. A lot of universities will offer summer schools, which are the opportunity to spend some time completely away somewhere different. So last year, or the year before last, we didn't go last year, but we did Malaysia, we had 2 weeks in Kenya, or we had 2 weeks in China. And that's a cultural experience, which again, is a good opportunity for you to get out and experience more. We offer at my office, the UOP Global, we have various coach trips. So that's Stonehenge at the top, a really famous landmark, actually not far from Portsmouth at Salisbury. We're very close to the beach, but we do all sorts of activities that you can get involved in. Global Week is taking place in a couple of weeks' time, and that's where we have the Festival of Cultures. So you can showcase your country and so forth. We have quizzes, karaoke, all sorts of social events. And also the Student Union runs this as well. So how to apply? Well, you can apply through Global Education. They have offices all over South Africa, Cape Town, Johannesburg, Durban, as well as Harare. You can contact George and his team at the office, and they will direct you to the best way to apply to us, which is generally online. I say it's really important for you to use one of our trusted representatives, because that means your application is looked after by my office. If you apply directly to us, independently of an agent, or if you go through UCAS, your application will be looked after by the University Admissions Centre, and they can take a little bit longer because they deal with all applications, not just our agent applications. So for a faster turnaround time, I would absolutely recommend using one of our agents. Global Education have been really helpful for a lot of students, not just from South Africa and Zimbabwe, but Namibia, Botswana as well. And we have every confidence in them, not only with your application, but also when you're applying for your visa. Now, the $64 million question, how much is it going to cost you to study somewhere as fantastic as Portsmouth? Well, our tuition fees for 2021 will start at £15,500. Now that's for a classroom-based or a studio-based course like journalism, business, economics, international relations. It will go up to £17,600 for a technology, science, engineering-based course, which is lab-based. If you are taking your internship as part of your course, there's no tuition fee for that year, but we have an admin fee, which is £2,500 for your placement year. And that covers when your personal tutor comes out to look after you, when you're actually to check everything's going okay with your internship and you're not just stacking shelves. To secure your place on our course at Portsmouth, we would ask you to pay a deposit before we will issue you with the CAS with which you apply for the visa. Now that is a deposit of £3,500, and it's offset against our tuition fees. The next question on the tip of everyone's tongues, I expect, is scholarships. And yes, we do have a number of scholarships. So first of all, we have the Merit Scholarship, the Chancellor's Global Academic Merit Scholarship, which is £5,000 applied to the first year of study. To be considered for that, you need to have applied and been made an offer and accepted our offer. And I've missed off the deadline. It's the 1st of June. So not long. Don't leave it too late if you're a high achieving student and you're from one of the selected countries. The Vice Chancellor's Global Development Scholarship is applied to every student from Sub-Saharan Africa who is self-funded. That is not means tested or merit based. It is an automatic £1,600 discount on your first year of study. And finally, if you were to progress from a bachelor's at Portsmouth to a master's with us, or a master's onto a PhD, you would then get the Alumni Scholarship, which is a 20% fee reduction. Accommodation at Portsmouth, well, we have no end of accommodation. We have lots of halls of residence. The prices would start at £100 per week for a standard self-catered room. That would go up to about £175 for a studio apartment. There's lots of private accommodation, but I always say to students, try and live in halls of residence in your first year, just so you get to know the campus, the neighbourhood, make some friends, and then move into private accommodation in your second and final year. All of our halls of residence are within 15 minutes walk of where you'll be studying. So it's a really easy city to get around. There's no buses involved, no trains. It's not, everything is so easy. It's great. So that's pretty much me. I've talked for half an hour, and if you'd like to get in touch with me directly, this is my email address. I think what I'd like to conclude by saying is that don't leave the task of thinking about what you want to do after your degree to the last minute. The sooner you start, the better. And that doesn't mean you have to have a clear career goal in mind by the end of the first semester on your first year. But you should always have it in mind that your time at university will go very, very quickly. You don't want to be one of those graduates who regrets missing opportunities. If only I'd known, it's not an excuse. You've missed out. So all of the knowledge and the theory that you learn throughout your degree, the discipline that it takes to earn it, is undoubtedly recognized by employers. But remember that this is true for all graduates. And what will make you stand out from the crowd is the ability to apply this knowledge and learn by doing, which can only be gained through practical experience whilst you're doing your degree. So this is how you will unlock the value of your degree and open the door to graduate success. So there we go.
I absolutely love that. It's absolutely resonated with me, who is an international student who went through the process, who went through not knowing what to study, and your image of do more just struck a chord with me. And it's something I wish I had focused more on, is getting more involved in the support structures and what universities offer and the networking opportunities, and not just joining a society, but really actively getting involved in it and relating that to whatever skills you're trying to build, or looking for a job, or even just looking to make friends in a new location. So I absolutely love that presentation. Thanks, Jenny. That was really good.
Well, it makes a change from talking about all of our courses. It's nice to kind of look at the other things that students can get involved in. There's so much opportunity.
Yeah. In terms of just in terms of ranking, a lot of people are always asking us, why go to a certain university if they're not ranked, or they're ranked really high and they kind of get a little bit more hesitant to applying if their grades aren't good enough. I would love to ask you, why does ranking not matter and matter, if you don't mind answering that?
In my opinion, ranking is very subjective. So you have the two league tables in the UK that people mainly use. There's the Times or a complete university guide, and there's the Guardian. They look at different metrics. So the Guardian will focus on practical courses, employability, vocational, graduate employment, graduate salaries, whereas the Times focuses on research and research funding that it's generated and publications, which is all very well, but I don't think that is so applicable to an undergraduate student. These are also overall subject, overall university rankings. So for, you might have one course which is right up there, our sports science, for example. I think we're always either between 2 and 3 in the UK for sports science, whereas our overall ranking isn't so great. We went down in the Guardian this year because the metrics have changed and we hadn't responded quickly enough to get our data in for those metrics. So don't look at our ranking this year. But what I would say to students is do look at the subject rankings at the you look at the subject that you're interested in and look for the universities that do that the best. So by all means, look at overall rankings, but dig deeper, look specifically at the rankings for your subject. That will give you a good idea. But the other thing that students sometimes refer to, and I think also should be taken with a pinch of salt, not that we do badly in it, we do quite well, but it's a personal opinion, the National Student Survey, which is something that every university asks their final year students to complete. And it's all very well, but they're being asked to compare universities and they haven't got that. So a student at Portsmouth, how can they compare their experience with a student at a different university? So it's all very subjective. That's why I think that league tables and rankings should always be taken with a pinch of salt. I mean, personally, I think students look at rankings by all means, but don't pick your university based on that. If it's got a good ranking and you've done your research and you've spoken to the students on your course, the academics on the course, you know pretty much what you want, then the rankings should be by the by.
Absolutely, and it goes back to your whole presentation. The network and the support and what you've got around is just as important as that rank. And in your slides, you had a view of the port, and I come from supply chain sort of background, and having access to that type of infrastructure is not just about that career, it's all the subjective businesses around it. And being involved in a university and your campus, being so spread out and being so multi sort of dynamic in terms of what it offers, that's something that we always try and portray to our students is, hey, look at what else they're offering, look at what else they're doing. That's the key. I've got a student here who's got a question for you, and it's on the course related work, and I think it's a good way to segue to that. Does Portsmouth offer a social work degree?
Yes, we do. We have Bsc Social Work, which is an honours degree. It's 3 years. Are we talking about the bachelor's level, do you think, or master's? I can cover both.
Let's do both.
So the bachelor's in social work, Bsc honours, is 3 years with honours. In the first year, you cover the fundamentals of social work, the history, the theories. In the second year, you would then do your 70 hours of work experience, practical work experience. And in the final year, you would do 100 hours. So it's a very practical course. It will give you the opportunity to practice as a social worker. You will have the opportunity to go for the accreditations. But I can send some information. I had some things about that course. Let me just see. I was only talking about it earlier today. So that's the bachelor's. With the master's, it's a 2-year master's. And so they still do the 170 hours of work experience. There's 70 hours in the first year and 100 hours in the second year. Let me just get that one up. So the bachelor's in social work and the master's in social work are accredited, and you would be doing your work placement or your 170 hours in the second year and in the final year, either in social services, rehab centres. We do it with criminal justice, voluntary organisations, housing advice, advocacy agencies. So I will just pop that link in here. That's for the bachelor's as well.
Yeah.
We don't, unfortunately, offer medicine. There was a question about that. What I would say, though, medicine is such a tough one for the UK. We did that session back in November, didn't we, George? When we did, we had Dr. James Brown talking about biomedical science, pharmacy, pharmacology, and it's kind of a subject allied to medicine. So that might be an option for you if you're thinking about a career in that area.
And especially if you're not sure if you want to get into medicine, it might be a great start, which could then help you to sort of further your career into medicine. You know, especially with medicine being one of the most expensive things to study as an international student. I've got a question here that I think would be relevant for everybody. Remo Gatswet, please excuse the pronunciation of the name. I've got a long name as well, so we can forgive each other with this. I'm a grade 12 student at St. Mary's DSG Pretoria. I just wanted to know, what is the minimum APS score one has to have in order to qualify for a law degree?
Right. Now, for law, I know that our entry criteria is normally an A and two Bs at A level, about 128 points. But I will just need to check what we ask for specifically with APs. So bear with me a moment and I will get that up.
Please take my email address. It's info.global@global-education.co.za. It's on the screen, and we can help you further as well.
So law, what we would be looking for, we haven't got, 554 or 544 minimum. I think 544 in your APs for law. I'll just check that. So we've got a number of courses in law. Now these are 3-year LLB courses. They also include an internship, and what I think makes our courses a bit special is the fact that on the LLB law with business, law with criminology, and law with international relations, you can basically do 2 qualifications for the price of 1. So if you take the SILEX model, that is the Chartered Institute of Legal Executives graduate diploma, and it's incorporated within your LLB. So you would graduate, if you've taken that module, you've got the legal executives chartered status plus your LLB law. Then you can go on to practice or to train for your bar exams. So that's a really good subject to be doing.
And how long will it take to complete that law degree? 3 years?
It's 3 years. If you take the internship, then you can also be in the UK for 4 years. Now, I would say definitely go for the internship. You get that 1-year work experience, and then you'd be eligible to stay and work for 2 years, or you could carry on and do your LLM, your bar exams, and then work for 2 years, whichever one you wanted to opt for.
And then we've got another question here. It's an anonymous attendee, so no name here. I did mathematical literacy. Are these courses I can do without maths, such as sociology or criminology? So are there any courses I can do without maths, such as sociology or criminology?
Yes, so we've got the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, which is where you would find courses like sociology, the Institute of Criminal Justice Studies. Oh my word, you have to get them engaged for that webinar we've got coming up. That's going to be so exciting. It's being delivered by our Institute of Criminal Justice Studies, all about using forensics in wildlife crime. So it's going to be a fascinating session on the 15th of March. But yes, you would be eligible for a social sciences, a criminology degree, anything like that. You wouldn't need to have maths.
And then I've got another anonymous question for you here. I finished a teaching degree in South Africa. Would I be accepted to study an honours in education?
Yes, I think so. Let me just double check. If you've got a teaching degree, if it's an ordinary degree, I would, however, suggest looking at doing the pre-masters with ICP and then our educational leadership and management, the MSc, go straight into a master's, depending on how much work experience you've got. I think that might be an option for you. With the educational leadership, so we've got education studies at master's level, education leadership and management, which is an MSc. If your teaching degree is without honours, then we class it as an ordinary degree. So we'd need you to do a pre-masters, which would mean starting in June for an October or September master's intake. That's what I would suggest. But talk to the team at Global Education, and we can look at what might be available.
Yeah, definitely. And these are the conversations why having yourself linked with us and being able to speak with a counselor that can sort of guide you and help you decide what's right for you, not just in terms of what to study, but also to help you achieve your goals. Because sometimes we think something might work for you, but if we don't know a little bit more about you, it's hard to make a recommendation for you as well. So please do reach out to us at info@global-education.co.za. It's on the screen. And please reach out for us for that specific question. Jenny, I've got one here from Jane, who I think I'm going to personally ask to join our criminology webinar that's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
The question is, what are the entry requirements for a bachelor's degree in social work and criminology?
Okay, so for social, these are two separate courses. We're not like a US university where you find majoring and minoring in different subjects. We do the Bsc Social Work, which is an honours degree, and the entry criteria for that, what we are looking for are generally courses or subjects that show it's like sociology, those sort of subjects. I'm just pulling it up now. That was a course that I was looking at yesterday, and some of the subjects that they were looking, they said that they like to see when you are applying for social work would be things like English, philosophy, politics, psychology, social policy, religious education, theology, anything like that that involves thinking. Becoming a social worker, we don't ask for huge entry criteria. So for social work, we would be looking for 3 Bs at A level. And I'm just trying to think what that is in your matric, in your NSC. So hang on a minute, I've got that one up as well. I should know this, but I don't. So yeah.
So much to know. So don't be hard on yourself there.
So 3 Bs in A levels would be the equivalent to 5 6s in NSC.
Yeah.
And that's
great.
For social work. Now for criminology, it wouldn't be much different. They're similar courses. They're both social science courses. So criminology, they like to see those subjects that involve essay writing, that involve critical thinking, that challenge yourself, challenge your ideas. So those are the sort of subjects they're looking for both social work and criminology.
Yeah, great. I've got another question from Remo Getsui. If I did IEB at school, would I have to write an entry exam?
I'm not sure what IEB is. Is that International Baccalaureate?
That would be the IB, and then IEB is the examination board. So let's presume two things here. Let's say he hasn't got the grades to get in. We would recommend to do a pathway program, which we could do through one of the college, through the Navitas app with you, which we can gladly help with that. And if it's a independent examination board, so yes, you would be writing matric.
Okay. No, we don't. I should have just said this from the start, not a question. We don't need an entry exam for any of our courses. What we do have for certain courses, we will invite you to attend an interview, which is done via Zoom. Or if it's a creative course, architecture, for example, we like to see a portfolio. For drama and performance, we ask you to do an audition. So for certain courses, we have different entry selection processes, but we don't have any tests, no extra entry tests.
And Remo, we can gladly help with all of these and give you a personalized sort of answer on every single one of the options that you'd like to study as well. So please do reach out to us. There's some fantastic opportunities out there, and especially with Portsmouth. Jenny, I've got some questions for you here. With COVID, and I know this is probably the dark word of the day, but a lot of students are concerned, and they also like to know what's actually happening at the university for current students, just to give an idea of what's actually happening in terms of, are they studying online, or a lot of people going home to study? What's actually happening at Portsmouth, if you don't mind answering.
Sure. Well, we have been in a universal city or national lockdown since early January. Our students who are on campus are still studying, we're still teaching. However, we're not able to teach face-to-face. We're doing it all via our online platform, which is called Moodle. So basically all the lectures are still being delivered. We're doing a lot more of the screen face to screen face personal tutor time with students, because we do really acknowledge that this isn't good for anyone's mental well-being, let alone students who are overseas in a strange city, in a strange town. So we're doing an awful lot more tutor contact. We are finding the students on the whole are coping. They've opted to come to the UK and to be on campus, and it's tough for everyone, but we're getting through it. Now, for the lab-based courses, for certain healthcare courses, we can carry on with the laboratory work. Obviously, at the moment, we had the announcement yesterday of our map to coming out of lockdown, and I think we're feeling quite positive. There is light at the end of the tunnel now. We are planning to be back. We'll still be teaching, but we're planning to open the campus from the 8th of April, I understand. I think what we need to be keeping very mindful of, though, is the fact that students from sub-Saharan Africa are currently required to quarantine for 2 days or 10 days on arrival in the UK. That's something that came in a couple of weeks ago. It affects a lot of the sub-Saharan countries, and basically it depends on what's happening in that country, whether that quarantine will be lifted. It will all be to do with the variants, the virus variants, and how they're evolving in that country. We do have, obviously, the UK is right at the forefront of the vaccination process. So, we are hoping that we're going to be back to normal, as normal as things can possibly be, from this summer.
Yeah, no, great. And it's great to see that there is an answer per se, with the 8th. There's things being done. And I think students who are listening into this, and especially with the recording that will be going live across all our channels, you know, it's worth knowing the amount of effort and support that not just the UK is doing into helping the people, but also university in terms of its support. And so we thank you as well for the support for all our students that are at Portsmouth as well, because we do know it is a trying time for everybody. I've got a couple more questions here for you. I wanted to ask the students though, if anybody's got any more questions for Jenny. So what I'll do, Jenny, is I'll go through the last question that I've got from the team here. When you were talking about the different programs that you're offering, you know, especially with a student like myself, who's a headache student who had no idea what we wanted to study, are you able to change? And what actually happens, let's say, if you're not enjoying your course? How does Portsmouth help those types of students, and what's on offer for that person to sort of change into another degree?
On the whole, it's pretty difficult to switch courses unless you're doing something that has a common first year. And the reason for that is partly down to the fact that your student visa specifies the course that you're studying. Now, for example, our business and law courses, we have BA Business and Management, BA Business and Human Resource Management, BA Business Management Entrepreneurship, BA International Business, quite a wide range. I think there's a few more I've missed out, but a wide range of bachelor degrees in business and management. Now, these all share a common first year. So if you applied for business management and entrepreneurship, and you actually thought, well, halfway through, you know what, international business sounds much more my cup of tea, then yes, you would be able to switch courses. It would be a case of working with our visa office. We would help you sort that out, and you know, you would just progress into year 2, or you would start doing more modules from the chosen course. Now, it's not so easy to switch subjects. So, you know, if you're looking, if you turned up and you said, right, I'm going to do criminology, and then halfway through semester 1, you said, actually, you know what, more money in accounting and finance, I want to switch that. No, that's not an option. And this is something that when you come to apply for your visas as well, you should be prepared for the entry clearance officer who will interview you to ask you about these subjects, because it's important you make the right decision. The chances are if you change your mind, you may not be able to switch on to another course that academic year because you'll have missed too much. You'll be at a huge disadvantage, and it wouldn't be ethical of the university to take your tuition fees knowing full well that you've missed the first 2 months of the course and you're going to fail, or you're likely to fail. So the reason why it's so important you make the right decision is that when you've got your student visa, there's a cap on how many years you can do that for. So I think it's 5 years. So if you're doing a foundation and then your bachelor's is 3 years and you've got an internship, that's 5 years. You know, you don't want to waste one of those years switching courses, because they don't, the UKVI who issue your visas, they don't look at that. They don't think, oh, well, you didn't know what course you wanted to do. So, you know, it's really important you make the right decision, because the chances are, and I have seen this happen, where a student came, started their bachelor's, changed courses, and he couldn't graduate because he switched course in the first year. So he had to start again from scratch. So then he failed one of the years and they wouldn't allow him. He'd exceeded the cap on his visa, so he couldn't come back to graduate, to finish his degree and graduate. It's really important you make the right decision. So yeah, it's really...
and that's the reason why we're having these webinars, and you know, being able to speak to you directly to get this information. It's something that we want our students to reach out to. We want them to reach out to us and to yourself to get that information, to find out, to explore every single option that's out there before they actually go in and they make that application. So we're not saying that only apply through Global. We're saying, hey, there's help here. Let us help you. Let us find out the best solution for you, and to speak directly to Jenny is just
Yeah.
a huge opportunity where just going online and searching for a degree is just doesn't cut it anymore. There's so much information that's out there now.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen no questions here, so I think we've done quite a good job, Jenny, tonight. I'm really happy with how this one has gone. It's been very interesting. So thank you very much, really.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Is there any questions from us, from your side? Things all.
No, I guess you'll be in touch with me afterwards, and if any of the students attending this evening would like to stay in touch and have any further questions they didn't think of at the time, do drop me a line, and you can do that through Global Education. I'm very happy to help. It's really, I mean, I am here to sell Portsmouth and to tell you how wonderful Portsmouth is, but ultimately this is a life-changing decision. So it's in your interest to do the research and to make the right decision, the right university for you. And if that's Portsmouth, then brilliant, I've done my job. But at the same time, if it's not Portsmouth, if it's somewhere else, then I've also done my job, because it needs to be the right place for you,
Yeah, well said. Well said. And on that note, let's end this one. Thanks, Jenny. Really appreciate it. And have a
Pleasure.
lovely evening as well. And keep safe to everybody.
Thank you. You take care. Bye.